What is going on, beautiful folks? Welcome to another episode of Mornings with Lee Hammock, your favorite self aware diagnosed narcissist. Today, we're going to be talking about how narcissists cannot put themselves in the shoes of anybody else. They cannot wear your shoes. Your shoes do not fit your emotional shoes, so to speak. Y'all might have the same size foot, but not the same size of emotions. Before we hop deep into today's episode, y'all, I got to shout out my kids' book. Remember, it's not your fault. It's a kid's book. Just kind of it's a conversation starter for you to have those tough conversations with your kids about toxic relationship dynamics, and a few other things. Toxic relationship dynamics, telling them the truth, loving yourself, all the other good stuff. Scott, remember, it's not your fault. But yes, y'all, yes. Narcissistic people cannot put themselves in the shoes of anybody else. And this is what I tell people right here, y'all. I tell people, like, one thing that does not work on a narcissist is for you to ask them to put themselves in your shoes or the shoes of somebody else. It just does not work. Something like if you were to say something to your narcissistic partner or ex or whatever about where or your parent, if you were to say something to them like, well, what if your daughter was in this situation? What would you tell her? If your son was dating somebody like you, what would you tell? What would you tell your son? They will almost always take that as a personal attack and attack you. My son is not as stupid as you are, so they wouldn't be with you. They wouldn't be with somebody like you. Or they wouldn't get into a toxic relationship dynamic, or they wouldn't stay with an abuser. My daughter is not as ridiculously ignorant as you are. They wouldn't happen to them because they're smarter than you. They've been raised by me, even if I abandoned them. They are my offspring, so they would know not to get into relationships like this. They cannot feel what you feel. They cannot empathy. That's one of the prerequisites of empathy is the ability to feel other people's emotions, isn't it? They can't do that. They don't want to do it. Yeah, I don't like. This is a sidebar because we're gonna get a little personal here. A lot of people ask me, like, Lee, if you could flip a switch and turn on the empathy, let the empathy flow, not be a narcissist anymore, would you? And that's a tough question. That's a tough question to answer, right? Because, like, y'all, I see the pain. I talk to so many people. I do my coaching calls. I'm in my support groups. I talk to so many people that are hurting, so many people that are in pain, so many people that just want to be loved and cared for and respected, that are with narcissists I see the pain. I just like, I don't want that pain. You see what I'm saying? But I already know what people are going to say. Well, if you can't have that pain, Lee, you don't get the pleasure of having empathy and compassion and stuff like that as well. I have empathy, y'all. It's just a lack. I have a low levels of it, low levels of emotional empathy. Now, cognitive empathy, I can understand, but I don't necessarily want to turn that switch on. I think I'm good. When I tell people I'm good, they get. I think some people get upset when I tell people I'm good. I'm good with the amount of empathy that I do have. I think some people get upset and get angry with me. I'm like, look, no, I'm not saying anything bad about being an empath. What I'm saying is, like, literally, this is me. I'm accepting who I am. I'm accepting how far I've come. You can't say, well, Lee, you ain't came that far. Yeah. I done came. I done came a little ways. You know what I mean? I done came a little ways and whatnot. So this is the stuff I tell people right here. When you're in these situations, when you're dealing with an abuser, when you're dealing with a manipulator, like, you have to prepare for this type of stuff, y'all. You do. Because they cannot, like, you're trying to rationalize with somebody who is dedicated or committed to being irrational. You cannot rationalize with someone that is committed to being irrational. You know what I'm saying? You cannot rationalize. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to you to try to rationalize with somebody that is not listening to you, somebody that is disrespecting you, somebody that is just hell bent on just trying to hurt you or harm you. You cannot rationalize with somebody who is not trying to be rational. I think people just take that as me being disrespectful. Yeah, I'm not. I'm be root. Yeah, I'm the root. I'm the rootinest, tootinest person for y'all in your life. I be rooting for y'all because I want you to win. I do. Anybody who's met me in real life on my platform, anybody who's came up to me in real life, anybody who's talked to me, y'all know that my goal is to help as many people as possible win. That's just what it is. I want people to win. I want people to survive. I want people to thrive beyond their wildest imaginations. So that's what I'm just saying. But as you're trying to deal with this narcissist, as you trying to deal with this toxic, manipulative person, understand that part of that journey, part of that dynamic is going to be, you know what I mean, going to be battling with this person on and off, like trying to get them. You can't get them to understand where you're coming from because they don't want to. They don't have the depth. They don't have the emotional depth. You see what I'm saying? It's like they can't swim in your emotions. You have a, like, let's just say you can swim. The narcissist can't swim, right? So the most they're going to do is, like, let's think of a pool. The most they're going to do is go to the 5 feet or the 6 feet, however high they can go, however tall they are. They're not going to go to the part where their feet have to come off the ground, where they can dip low. They're only going to go to the place where they can stand up. You see what I'm saying? The emotions are like a pool. They can't swim. They can't go to your depth. You have a 10-foot pool. You have a 20-foot pool. They are in the kiddie pool splashing around. Imagine a big ass adult over there in like a little kiddie pool, like you get for Walmart. They're over there splashing around like a baby. That's the most. I just imagine myself doing that. That's the emotional depth that they do have. So that's one thing that you have to kind of reconcile with. And a lot of people don't want to reconcile with it. And I understand it, because it sucks to imagine being with somebody that can't get as emotionally deep as you can. Somebody that really is somebody who pretty much survives and thrives on the lack of emotional depth more than anything. They survive and thrive on the lack of depth. You mean they enjoy the lack of depth that is being experienced right here, because they benefit from it, y'all. There's a benefit in it for them in this space, in this situation. Like, a lot of them benefit from the lack of depth that is necessary. Like, they don't like to get emotionally deep. And y'all, and be real, some of them will tell you that they can't get that deep. They'll tell you straight up, they're like, look, my emotions don't work that way. I can't get as deep. I can't go as deep as you want me to go. You know, and they give you the option or the choice of deciding whether or not you want to stick it out with them. There's like, well, I told you. You can't say I didn't tell you that I was like this. You can't say I didn't say this. You can't say I didn't say that. So some of them will do that type of stuff, y'all. Just being real. Let's just keep it hot and ready. Some of them will do that type of stuff in order to just mess with you, in order to be manipulative towards you. Like, this is how their minds work. And I'm just like, I know some people are just like, well, Lee, I don't want to hear that. I want my partner back. Right? Look, I get it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I like this is where my cognitive empathy comes into play at, because I can truly understand the pain and the hurt that you're going through. I just don't get down into the depths with you. Again, I'm in my pool. Since I've been in therapy, my emotional pool has gotten deeper. I can say that, right? My emotional pool has definitely gotten deeper, but I'm still, I'm still learning how to swim, pretty much. My emotional pool has absolutely gotten deeper, but I'm still myself trying to learn how to swim in deeper waters. So that's why I'm just telling you, if you have a narcissist or a toxic person that you're trying to communicate with, you have to, a lot of times and it's going to sound unfair, but a lot of times you have to dumb down your communication to deal with this person. In your mind, you have to get into your mind that you're dealing with a child, like an emotional child. Like, this person is not like where you are emotionally. This person is not there this person is not there with you. So this is part of what you have to understand. They are not on the same emotional, they don't have that same emotional depth that you do. So they can't get as deep as you can. So that's something that you have to consider. Like, dumb down your conversations, dumb down how you're talking to this person, because a lot of times you have to, like, this is how they're going to go. This is how their mind is going to work, right? It really is. They just cannot get as deep as you want them to go. They can't. You know what I mean? They just can't. And I know that frustrates people, but and I was like, well, Lee, damn it, Lee, what's the point of you being here then? Why were you talking to you? Like, look, I didn't do that to you. I didn't make the narcissist. I just happened to be one. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert. I just happened to stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset and mentality that so many people face. And I was like, I'm rooting for y'all. I really want y'all to win. I just want y'all to understand that, like, sometimes when you're trying to have these conversations with somebody, you really do, and it sounds unfair, you really do have to dumb down how you're talking to this person. You have to dumb down your communication. You have to actually act like you're talking to a child. You know what I mean? You actually act and behave like you're talking to. You have to dumb down your communication so much so that you act like you're talking, instead of talking to a 25 or 35, 45-year-old, 50-year-old, you're talking to like a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old. You have to dumb down your level of communication, especially the emotional connectivity of that. You know, and it sucks. I know it sucks. I know it does, y'all. That's one of them things that it's hard to try to deal with at the same time as you're trying to process stuff, y'all. But let me look. So y'all, before I hop off this thing, I have to let y'all know that this Tuesday, November 26th, we have our next workshop, but this one is virtual. We're doing workshops all over the country this year, but now we're doing a virtual one to help you prepare for the holidays with a narcissist or a toxic person, y'all. It's called Narc Season: Navigating Narcissists and Toxic People During the Holidays. It's a virtual mini workshop. It's Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You register, you get the replay sent out to you so you can rewatch it, or if you miss part of it and whatnot, you can register for that over at my website at mentalhealness.net/events. Like I said, Narc Season, Navigating the Holidays. Nia Renee, Survivor Thriver coach, and myself will be discussing this in detail to help you navigate the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the other stuff with the narcissist or toxic person in your life, y'all. Anyways, y'all, thank you for tuning into another episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Be safe. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Mental Healness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video. Peace.